What's up everyone, Vu of Envu Films back with another video, and right here on my desk is the DJI RS4 Pro gimbal that I bought with my own money, as well as a ton of other products from DJI that I have bought with my own money over the years. And this gimbal is probably the best handheld gimbal that you can buy on the planet. It is big, it could balance and handle big cinema cameras, such as a rigged out Sony FX6. If you're a videographer, cinematographer, content creator, solo video shooter, what have you, you should have a gimbal in your gear kit. But a video shooter such as myself does not own any big cinema cameras. My main camera is a Sony FX6. I'm filming myself with the Sony ZV-E1. So really the DJI RS4 Pro is a bit overkill. The reason why I bought this gimbal was to use the DJI Focus Pro system to be able to use LiDAR to autofocus my manual focus anamorphic lenses. But most of the time I'm using standard autofocus lenses. So 90% of the time, this gimbal is overkill for me. Thankfully, DJI reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to test and do a review on the DJI RS4 standard gimbal, and of course I said yes. And here it is, my DJI RS4 Pro setup with my FX3 and a pretty big lens, probably as big as you were going to be mounting on your FX3 on gimbal, which is Sigma 28-45 f1.8 zoom lens, which is around 2 pounds, and my FX3 is in bare bones. It is actually rigged out with a newer cage. So pretty much the DJI RS4 can confidently balance and handle one of the biggest possible setups you could do with your FX3. Although DJI did send me this gimbal, I'm gonna be as unbiased as possible with this review. Whether or not you think I am honest or not with my opinions, that is on you. That's not my problem. All I'm telling you right here is that I've used this gimbal for the past 2 weddings, as well as the DJI RS4 Pro, which I've used for this entire year pretty much. And I wouldn't be buying any of this DJI stuff if it wasn't good to begin with. So it was actually easy for me to say yes to DJI to try this because I knew this gimbal was going to be solid. I owned a DJI RS3, an RS2 Pro, and the original DJI Ronin. And those of you who have been subscribed to my channel since the beginning, you know that this channel was originally launched with the OG DJI Ronin S gimbal review, which please do not watch because it's quite cringy. I put DJI Ronin S on my YouTube video, the title, I'll get views and I'll probably get more subs. That's literally the only reason why I'm making this video. But full circle moment, my first big YouTube video was a DJI Ronin S, and finally, 4 generations of DJI handheld gimbals later, DJI finally sent me one for review. So here it goes. If you film with mirrorless cameras, such as FX3, Panasonic, Canon, whatever camera that you use, the DJI RS4 is going to be the best gimbal you can get. And I get it. A lot of you don't even like using gimbals. A lot of you are all about that handheld life. I personally do both handheld and gimbal shooting. And in my opinion, if you completely say no to using gimbals, not only are you lying to yourself, but you are doing a disservice to your client. And the reality is you're just being lazy. Because compared to handheld shooting, gimbals are more cumbersome. You can't switch out lenses that easily, and they're heavy. Believe me, I'm a 40-year-old Asian D-bag trash with a horrendous back. And you probably can't tell, but I do work out. And gimbals are not light, especially when you have a 2-pound zoom lens on top. But the types of shots you get with the gimbal make it worth it. If you're looking to buy a new gimbal, the RS4 is a no-brainer, and I'm gonna tell you why. First of all, I'm gonna go ahead and lock the gimbal. Clearly, it can handle the weight, 6.6 pounds. And to all you third world countries out there, that is 3 kilograms. Secondly, it has auto locking and auto unlocking of the gimbal. So if you're like me, most of the time at a wedding, standing around doing nothing, and then all of a sudden something happens, you could just run up to your gimbal, turn it on, and you'll be ready to shoot. I have been using gimbals for a long time, and the worst thing is having to run up to your gimbal like this, and then having to like unlock it, and all this nonsense. Gotta find where all the locks are, and then turn it on. It is a complete pain in the ass. Right now in the market, DJI is the only gimbal company that is doing auto locking of the axes. Honestly, the auto locking mechanism alone is enough reason to only buy DJI gimbals. I always keep it a buck on my channel, okay? You can buy any gimbal that is out right now. For the most part, if you're just walking around trying to film stable footage, any gimbal is going to do that for you. Obviously, with varying results. Some gimbals you may have to add in a little warp stabilizer, a little more slow motion to get it as smooth as you like. I've never had issues with the DJI RS4 or RS4 Pro for that matter, so you get the point. Gimbals will do the job, but no other gimbal is going to lock for you this easily. With the DJI RS4 compared to the RS3, DJI extended the tilt axis by 8.5 millimeters, enabling you more space to balance longer zoom setups with, of course, ND filters like I have here with added weight, microphones, etc., with no issues. On top of that, they have added a Teflon coating to the RS4 compared to the previous generations, making it easier to slide each axis when trying to balance. Other features that actually really don't matter to me, but I understand probably matters to a lot of you other vertical video shooters, aka D-bag video shooters. That's just my opinion. With the RS4 Pro, you don't need to buy additional accessories for quick vertical shooting setups. This new second generation native vertical shooting allow you to adjust the gimbal from standard mode to vertical mode very quickly without having to add any additional accessories. Just to be clear, not all camera and lens setups are going to be seamless going from horizontal to vertical. There's going to have to be some rebalancing. For example, my setup, my FX3 with 28 to 45 f1.8 actually will not be a seamless transition from horizontal to vertical shooting. How quickly you can go from horizontal to vertical is going to be very dependent on your camera and lens setup. With the focus motor, now you have a quick switch to be able to control the motor to zoom the lens or to use it for focusing, which is definitely an added bonus when you're trying to film. A lot of you will probably be using zoom lenses, so obviously you do not have a need to use a focus motor for focusing, so you would use it for zoom, especially now with lenses like the Sigma 28 to 45 f1.8 and the new Sony 28 to 70 f2 G Master lens, both big lenses, both 2 pounds or more. You know the RS4 can balance it and handle the weight with no issues. You also know that it'll be easier for you to use the zoom mechanism of your lens by simply using the joystick of your gimbal. This makes your life as a solo shooter 100 times easier. The RS4 Pro comes with this standard battery. It's smaller than the one that comes with the DJI RS4 Pro. However, what's great about DJI gimbals is that there's a removable battery. I've used this gimbal for 8 to 10 hour weddings, no issues. Matter of fact, I'd only charged this gimbal up 75% the last wedding I filmed, and this battery still is at 50%. But if you want, you could use any bigger DJI battery available in the market, such as this extended battery grip. This is the BG70 high capacity battery grip. DJI says this would extend your gimbal's battery life up to 29.5 hours, which is pretty ridiculous. Getting near 30 hours with your gimbal battery life is great and all, but to be quite honest, the best feature is that you actually have 18 watt power delivery from this battery as well as all the other batteries. Plug the USB-C into your camera and you could power your gimbal and your camera at the same time. Something I wish I had been doing more often instead of switching the batteries on and off. But even when I'm switching my batteries in and out, it has not been an issue. Because I use the Falcam quick release system on my gimbal, I actually have a Falcam quick release plate that I use to enable me to quickly unlatch my camera with a click of a button. So there's that. Besides the obvious benefits of being able to have a removable battery is the fact that you could disassemble the gimbal to pack for traveling, to be able to fit in your backpack, etc. So unlike most other gimbals, you could completely dismantle your DJI RS4 to make it as compact as possible for it to easily fit into a backpack. Now, some of you may say, well, you could just get a smaller gimbal. Well, the problem is smaller gimbals is not going to be able to balance your camera and your big lens, now would it? So take it all apart. Since it's already pre-balanced, I don't have to mess with any of this stuff. All I gotta do is put the handles back and then my gimbal will be ready to go. So it's not going to fit in every backpack, but here I have a Ulanzi backpack. It has a roll top design. So I could literally put the gimbal inside like so, into the bag. This, but yep. And there you have it. My gimbal is now packed away in my backpack. I can sit here and do like 1,000 different gimbal tests and test stability, this, that, and the other. But we're in 2024, and like I told you earlier, if you just need just stability, most gimbals on this planet will be able to provide that for you. Not all gimbals can be compact, broken down, handle 6.6 pounds, balance the 6.6 pounds, have auto lock, have quick vertical mounting solutions, all in one gimbal. If you use mirrorless DSLR type cameras and do not need control of DJI LiDAR Focus Pro system, don't plan on buying big cinema rigs that requires a bigger gimbal than this, the DJI RS4 is the best gimbal to buy today. With that said, I hope this video was insightful and helped you make a purchase decision on your next gimbal. Links are in the description below to this gimbal and anything else that I was talking about in the video. As always, until next time, lighten up.
Hey man, what gimbal is that?
It's a DJI RS3.
You want to know the top 5 gimbal moves for cinematic filmmaking?
Oh yeah, sure man, let me see it.
But first, let me show you Storyblock.
Nah man, I'm not interested in that.
Okay, then let me show you Squarespace.
Nah man, it's cool.
No problem, I have a new LUT pack for the Sony S-Log 3 Terrat color. It's called the S LUT pack for only $29.99.
Can you just show me the gimbal moves?
Let me show you.
Hold on, let me show you a gimbal move.
Okay, how about you
So first you just gotta put this down, and then you, hey, what the hell?